why JPMorgan is saying that Bitcoin will reach $165,000. Plus a look at Uptober. Bitcoin to $165,000? You heard that right. One of the biggest banks in the world, JPMorgan, is now talking about a six-figure Bitcoin target. And if that wasn't enough, we've just entered one of crypto's most historically bullish months, Uptober. But is this just hype? Or is there something real behind the optimism? Today we're breaking down JPMorgan's bold prediction, the data behind Uptober, and what it could mean for your investments as we close out 2025. JPMorgan's Bitcoin prediction. Let's start with JPMorgan. According to their recent note, analysts from the bank believe Bitcoin could climb as high as $165,000. Why? ETF flows. Since the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs, Wall Street money has poured into crypto. Institutions that previously stayed on the sidelines now have a regulated way to buy exposure. Gold parity argument. JPMorgan points out that Bitcoin is increasingly being seen as digital gold. If Bitcoin's market cap catches up with gold's share in investment portfolios, the price could hit that six-figure level. Halving effect. Don't forget, the 2024 halving cut new Bitcoin supply in half. With demand rising and supply shrinking, JPMorgan expects higher price equilibrium. In simple terms, more demand, less supply, higher price. Why $165,000 matters. But why this number? If Bitcoin hits $165,000, it would give BTC a market cap close to $3 trillion. That's not just a speculative bubble. That's Bitcoin moving into the league of global safe haven assets. At that level, Bitcoin would be around 10 to 15% of gold's market value, a realistic milestone given its adoption curve. This also reflects growing confidence among traditional finance players that Bitcoin is here to stay. What is Uptober? Now let's talk about Uptober. Uptober is crypto slang for October, a month that has historically brought big green candles to the market. Looking back, in 2017, Bitcoin surged nearly 50% in October. In 2020, Uptober kicked off the rally that pushed Bitcoin to its then all-time high of $69,000. Even in weaker years, October has often been a turning point for positive momentum. Why October? Post-summer market lull ends. Institutions position for year-end. Positive sentiment builds ahead of the holiday rally season. Uptober 2025, what to expect? So, what about this Uptober? Institutional inflows from ETFs are still strong. Macro tailwinds are building. With inflation cooling and rate cuts on the horizon, risk assets are getting a bid. Crypto-specific catalysts are also in play. The halving is still impacting supply dynamics, Layer 2 scaling is growing, and stablecoin adoption is expanding. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. We've also seen Octobers that disappointed. But the combination of fundamentals and sentiment has traders buzzing again. Risks to watch? Before you run to buy more Bitcoin, let's be clear about the risks. Regulatory pressure could tighten again. ETF inflows could slow down if institutional appetite fades. Macroeconomic shocks, like oil spikes, debt crises, or geopolitical tension, could drag markets lower. Bitcoin is volatile. Even JPMorgan admits their forecast is conditional. Conclusion. So, will JPMorgan's $165,000 Bitcoin prediction play out? Nobody has a crystal ball, but the combination of supply shock, ETF adoption, and historical Uptober momentum makes this one of the most interesting times for crypto investors. What do you think? Will Uptober live up to its name in 2025? And do you see Bitcoin reaching six figures by next year? If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. This is Felix, helping you make sense of money, markets, and the future of crypto. See you next time.